are 5 sneakers that are actually worth buying in 2026. Sneakers that prove you don't need hype to have style. And right now, they're pretty low-key, so not everyone knows about these yet. But trust me, these are my absolute favorite shoes that I have tested recently. Kicking us off, we have the Adidas SL72 Pro. Now, these things are pretty genius from Adidas. Now, they may look kind of familiar to you, and that's because they're based off of one of the most popular shoes on the planet right now, the Adidas Evo SL. Put these in, I guess, their most simplest form. This is literally a combination of 2 models, the Evo SL and the SL72. However, they've tweaked some key things about this pair of shoes to separate it from both models. So starting with the midsole, it's identical to the Evo SL in terms of shape, geometry, and looks. It's practically the same. However, they did change the actual foam that this is made out of. The Evo SL has Light Strike Pro. These have something new called Light Strike Plus. Now, at this point, Adidas has a bajillion different versions of Light Strike. They have the lighter, softer stuff that they put in their flagship running shoes, a million different versions in between, but the Evo SL had, I guess, a little bit more of a snappier, responsive foam. Now, Light Strike Plus is a lot more geared towards lifestyle and casual wear, so it's still soft and squishy and incredibly comfortable underfoot, but it's not as snappy and bouncy as the Evo SL. So what that means is wearing these things, you're gonna feel a lot more stable. It's geared a lot more to everyday wear. And they've also added a much thicker and durable outsole to these. Again, I guess they're intended to be worn a lot more than the Evo SL, so yeah, you've got a little bit more rubber underneath. And the upper somehow works unbelievably well with this combination of the midsole. I mean, we're talking about a design on the upper that was made decades ago with the new futuristic midsole, and somehow it all combines to look really good. But even not just from a visual perspective, but the upper adds a lot to that comfort as well. It's covered in a slightly padded nylon material, which feels soft and something that can kind of mold to your foot. The soft suede overlay panels feel very nice and elevates this to feel a lot more premium. The soft upper with the soft midsole just makes these things an absolute joy to wear. I really like the way that these look, and they go with so many different outfits. They're unbelievably versatile. Now, the reason you've probably never seen these out in the wild is because 1, they're pretty new, but 2, they're technically only sold in China. As I've covered plenty of times on the channel, Adidas in China has a completely different catalog of products that you can't get anywhere else in the world. Over the years, I've picked up some of my favorite shoes of all time from specifically the Adidas out in China. If you ever plan a trip out there, you can simply pick these things up in store, but the easier option for everyone else who's not gonna go to China is just pick these things up from all of the different places that you can get them online. Now, you can't get them from Adidas online, but there's plenty of different aftermarket sites, like probably the one that you've heard of the most, StockX. As of right now, they have all 3 colorways listed for a somewhat reasonable price. However, I do believe that inevitably these will release globally in all different markets because, I mean, how can you not? These are bound to be incredibly popular globally. Overall, amazing shoes, super versatile, and one that I highly recommend you try out. You'll get a ton of wear out of them. Next, we got a little bit more of a weird one because I feel like New Balance themselves don't even really know what this sneaker is. So I'll tell you, this is the New Balance Elipse, and I think it's one of the coolest sneakers from New Balance this entire year. It's extremely comfortable with the incredible Fresh Foam X that you find underfoot. It is super soft and comfortable and very well cushioned, perfect for anybody looking for a pair of shoes that they can do a bunch of walking steps in or just standing around all day. But the reason I think this is so weird is because the way that New Balance kind of markets this pair of shoes seems a little bit confusing. This shoe feels like it's supposed to replace the 1080 line from New Balance, but at the same time, not. So the 1080 V line you're probably familiar with is one of the most popular running lineups from New Balance. It's been going on for generations. Like I said, the latest one is the 15th version, but with the V15s, they just switched to a new foam called Infinium. Now that foam is slightly firmer, not as soft. It's a little bit more responsive and snappy, and definitely geared a lot more towards runners. Right after releasing those, they released these. Somewhat similar, visually speaking, back to the classic Fresh Foam X that people loved from the 1080 line. More affordable price point, now at $145. And in my opinion, more comfortable than the V15, especially for casual wear. But New Balance's marketing has not made this clear, has not made the separation between this shoe and the 1080 clear at all. On New Balance's website, it says that the Elipse is for bouncy comfort for everyday runs, while the V15 is extra cushioning for everyday runs. Explain the difference between extra and bouncy. I have no idea. Regardless, if you're looking for a really solid running shoe, the 1080 V15, solid. But if you're looking for a comfort first pair of shoes that can obviously act as a runner, good for, more slow, relaxed recovery runs, but then also double up as a great casual pair of shoes shoes that you can wear every day, standing around, doing a lot of walking, this is the one to go with. I highly recommend you try these things out. They are just insanely comfortable, and I think if you're a fan or were a fan of the 1080 line from New Balance, you're gonna love these things. Also, I think these things are a lot better looking than the 1080s. I mean, man, this colorway especially, what a shoe. Right, switching lanes for a minute. Barefoot shoes. Man, I might have just sent chills down your spine. This is a pair of barefoot shoes from Ohne Project. Hear me out. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know that I embarked on a journey to investigate the barefoot shoe industry. A lot of barefoot shoe brands make claims like all of these other shoes are giving us a bunch of injuries and ailments, and the solution is the barefoot shoe. So I decided to buy a pair, wear them every single day for the next few months, and test it out myself. So I did exactly that. No other shoes, just the barefoot shoes, 10 to 20,000 steps every single day for months. So here we are today, well over a year later, and I'm still wearing them. Not that I agree with any or a lot of the claims that these barefoot shoes companies make, but I do see a lot of the benefits to having a pair of barefoot shoes. The truth is, it's not a decision between these two shoes. It's not if you have too much cushioning and the toe box is super narrow, it's going to destroy your feet. You need flat barefoot shoes. It is just whatever pair of shoes for whatever specific task. Think of it a little bit more like a tool. I personally really love barefoot shoes for the freedom that they give your toes. I do like the fact that you have a wider toe box on these things and you can really feel your feet spread out. It's a comfortable feeling. I also like the zero drop. It makes you feel a lot more stable. So for specific activities, like I go to the gym a lot, so I wear barefoot shoes to the gym. But if I'm running or I know that I'm going to be out all day long, I'm going to opt for something more comfortable or with a lot more cushioning. Barefoot shoes have their place and I think can be very, very beneficial. I mean, I'm convinced that my calves are a lot bigger now that I've been stepping in these things all the time. The biggest struggle I had with barefoot shoes was to find a good looking pair, and I think I have finally done it. These things look amazing. Ohne Project is a very small brand from Spain that make barefoot shoes look good. They've got a bunch of different models. This is the one that I decided to pick up because I just thought it looked super cool. I also love the elasticated ankle area, so they're super easy to slip on. And also because of the nature of this upper being so incredibly soft with a mixture of, this is not suede, but it kind of feels like it. It's all vegan material, so it's not actually leather, but it's insanely soft. Like you can just roll these things up. You could probably slip them into your back pocket. So with all of this room that you have in there for your toes to breathe and just everything like that, it feels insanely comfortable. Way more comfortable than the barefoot shoes I got beforehand. One of the biggest trends here in 2026 is the low profile flat shoes that everybody wants to buy. And I just think that if you're going to buy those pair of shoes, which are so much more constrictive and uncomfortable, why not get a pair of barefoot shoes? Your feet are going to feel so much better in something like this than a pair of Jacquemus Nikes. Either way, these things are very well made. I think are the best looking barefoot shoes that you can possibly get. And trust me, I tried quite a few on my way. I've been down this rabbit hole. I bought the freaking 5 fingers, okay? If you were into barefoot shoes, I highly recommend trying these things out. And if you're not into barefoot shoes, hey, it's one of those things where you gotta try it before you bash it. But just like how low profile slim shoes are a massive trend in 2026, so is retro runners. In fact, I think this trend is so big, it is now just kind of become a mainstay in the sneaker world. And one of, if not the best in this entire category is this, the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 10. At this point, every single brand has a retro runner that they brought back from their archives from the 2000s. Super easy for them to do because again, retro runners are trending, they're very popular, and they just, all they have to do is just bring something back they already have the designs for. And most of these sneakers follow the same exact blueprint, having a wide base mesh with some synthetic overlays, typically some kind of metallic mixed in there too. But Brooks did something different. They brought this pair back from 2009, but instead of just bringing it back true to the original, they swapped out the midsole for their latest cushioning technology. So visually they're the same, but when you put these things on foot, you're going to tell these things are very different from the average retro runner that you've tried. So the cushioning in this midsole is now DNA tuned cushioning, something that they put in their Brooks Glycerin Max model, something you might have heard of. It's like one of the most comfortable shoes on the market. So the experience you get walking around in these things looks like a regular retro runner, but it feels so much different. It is soft and squishy and just insanely comfortable. I mean, honestly, it's that level of comfort that you would normally have to buy a running shoe in order to get. But now you just get it in a package that looks so cool and is also extremely versatile. You can wear these things with jeans, with shorts, to the gym, out and about, whatever you're doing. These things are easy to throw so on and go. These are currently my favorite retro runners on the market. They're just so easy to wear. Highly recommend checking these things out. Last one is a true shocker. A pair of shoes I did not expect to be as good as they are. This is the Nike Winflo 12. And you know how a lot of people complain about the fact that the most comfortable shoes from Nike are so expensive? Well, I would argue that you just weren't looking hard enough. I mean, it's not your fault. They do promote the more expensive ones like the Vomero Plus and the Pegasus Premium way more than their affordable models. But for $110, these might be the best value comfortable shoes on the market. So the Winflo model is something that's been around for a very long time in Nike's lineup. It's their affordable model, and for the longest part, it's always looked exactly like that. Very affordable. It's also felt very affordable. But this 12th one changes things pretty significantly. It's not only the best looking Winflo model I have ever seen, but it's also one of the more premium feeling ones. It really does feel like Nike decided to upgrade this pair of shoes and make it something that actually competes with some of the best value shoes on the market. Now, apart from the visual upgrades that they've made to this, they've also increased the stack of cushioning that you get in here. So you've now got something that is super soft and cushioned. It's Cushlon 3, so again, something that just feels incredible walking around. You also have the air in there, which you can't really feel, but it does add just a slight tiny bit of more responsiveness. You've got great padding around the ankle area. The mesh on the top feels nice. It's relatively standard at wide base mesh, but then you've got these TPU overlays, which add a little bit more durability and structure. I mean, the design is just so good looking. The different colorways that you can get in this, my favorite is just this one with the reds. This pair of shoes is so good that it's now actually something I would recommend if you don't want to expend a lot of money on the Pegasus line. The Pegasus line has been creeping up in price, and they're just about to launch their latest version, but if you're not trying to break the bank, you're gonna get a lot of what you get with the Pegasus just with these. You're looking for a great running shoe, a great casual everyday pair of shoes that looks really good. Look no further than these things. For 110 bucks, the value is definitely there. I honestly think you are going to love them, just like you're probably going to love this video that I've thrown in the top left-hand corner. I go over the 10 most viral sneaker trends happening in 2026, and it's pretty mind-blowing. Click on it to check it out.